Gentlemen, welcome. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and today we're diving into a topic that most men rarely discuss, often whisper about, and sometimes even laugh off, but I promise you, it's far more fascinating and impactful than you might think. We're exploring intimate behaviors that many men don't fully understand and the surprising ways they affect women's minds, bodies, and relationships. Before we go any further, I want you to do something simple. Hit that like button, leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from, and subscribe if you want more science-backed insights into health, intimacy, and human psychology. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, why are we even talking about this? Understanding these hidden aspects of intimacy isn't just curiosity, it's a doorway to better relationships, stronger emotional connection, and even improved health. First, let's clear up some myths. There's so much misinformation floating around about sexual behavior and women's biology. You've probably heard your share. Some of it is complete fiction, some partially true, but a lot of it simply hasn't been discussed scientifically. Here's a fascinating fact. Some intimate acts aren't just about pleasure or reproduction. They actually involve a complex biochemical exchange between partners. That's right, our bodies are constantly communicating, even at a microscopic level. Understanding this can completely change how you approach intimacy. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, a physician with 5 years of experience in men's and women's health. Over time, I've seen firsthand how real, science-backed knowledge empowers men and improves relationships. Today, we're going to explore some truly surprising science behind intimacy. We'll see what happens in the body when certain biological fluids interact and how this can influence mood, sleep, immune response, and even long-term health. And we'll do it responsibly, clearly, and grounded in research. No judgment, no fear, just facts. Let's break it down. There are 7 key facts about women and intimacy that most men don't realize. I'll explain them biologically, emotionally, and practically, so you understand not just what happens, but why it matters. Intimacy isn't purely physical, it's chemical. First, many men assume intimacy is all about sex or pleasure, but here's the fascinating part. Certain intimate acts involve chemical transfers that influence mood and bonding. Biologically, women can absorb hormones like oxytocin, serotonin, and even melatonin during intimacy. These are the very chemicals that regulate trust, happiness, and sleep. Emotionally, this is why connection feels stronger after intimacy. It's literally chemistry at work. Practically, understanding this helps you appreciate that quality, time, closeness, and trust aren't just nice, they're essential to a satisfying relationship. Second, the power of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone, and for good reason. It's released during hugging, breastfeeding, and yes, sexual activity. Biologically, oxytocin strengthens social bonds and fosters trust. Emotionally, it helps women feel safe and connected, making them more open, communicative, and affectionate. Practically, being gentle, attentive, and mindful during intimacy boosts oxytocin and deepens your relationship beyond the bedroom. Third, mood matters. Serotonin and stress. Serotonin isn't just a feel-good chemical, it directly influences mood, anxiety, and even perception of stress. Biologically, certain intimate interactions can subtly elevate serotonin. Emotionally, women who feel emotionally secure experience less stress, which improves relationship satisfaction. Practically, small, consistent gestures of intimacy, not grand or expensive ones, can significantly enhance daily emotional well-being. Fourth, let's talk about sleep and recovery. Melatonin, often called the sleep hormone, plays a surprisingly important role in intimacy. During intimate moments, small amounts of melatonin can enter the bloodstream, promoting relaxation and improving sleep quality. Biologically, even a slight boost helps regulate circadian rhythms and enhances restorative rest. Emotionally, better sleep improves mood, patience, and resilience qualities every relationship benefits from. Practically, consider prioritizing intimacy as part of a healthy nightly routine. It's not just pleasurable, it actively supports restorative sleep and overall well-being. Fifth, immune system priming. This one is fascinating. Long-term exposure to a partner's biological fluids can help the immune system recognize foreign proteins, supporting tolerance during pregnancy. Biologically, this concept, known as immunological tolerance, may reduce risks of complications like preeclampsia. Emotionally, women feel safer and more supported in committed, trusting relationships. Practically, building trust, consistency, and intimacy over time isn't just emotionally valuable, it may also have tangible biological effects. Sixth, risk awareness is crucial. Let's get real. While there are benefits to intimacy, there are also potential risks. Sexually transmitted infections can be transmitted orally, and exposure to toxins from lifestyle habits can affect your partner. Biologically, infections and rare allergic reactions can have serious consequences. Emotionally, trust and honesty are foundational. Without them, intimacy can become stressful or unsafe. Practically, always communicate openly about sexual health, practice safe intimacy, and encourage regular screenings. Knowledge here isn't just power, it's protection. Seventh, lifestyle matters. The health and habits of both partners directly affect the safety and quality of intimacy. Diet, medications, alcohol, and overall wellness influence biochemical safety. Biologically, toxins, alcohol, and drugs can alter chemical composition of bodily fluids, affecting your partner. Emotionally, feeling confident about your own health increases comfort, trust, and desire. Practically, maintaining healthy routines isn't just good for you, it protects your partner and strengthens your bond over time. So, what should you do with this information? Here's a simple, actionable plan for older men. First, communicate openly. Discuss health, intimacy, and boundaries with your partner. Transparency builds trust and strengthens emotional connection. Second, prioritize health. Eat well, exercise regularly, manage stress, and avoid substances that compromise your system. Third, be mindful during intimacy. Focus on connection, emotional presence, and gradual bonding rather than just performance. Fourth, schedule regular checkups. Screen for STIs, heart health, and overall wellness markers. Fifth, support your partner's wellness. Encourage shared routines and mutual health goals. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about small, consistent actions that compound over time, building intimacy, trust, and health simultaneously. Age does not mark the end of vitality, intimacy, or meaningful connection. Men, I want you to take a moment and internalize this. Age is not the end of vitality, intimacy, or meaningful connection. The way you engage with your partner can actually enhance confidence, emotional closeness, and mutual health. Even small changes like prioritizing sleep, trust, and communication can have profound effects on daily life and your relationship. You're not broken, you're not behind. You're simply equipped with new knowledge that can transform the way you connect, feel, and show up in your relationships. Now, let's talk about how to apply this information practically. First, take curiosity seriously. Approach intimacy as a form of exploration and learning, not as a test of performance. Understand that your partner's responses, comfort, and enjoyment are just as important as your own. Biologically, this mindset encourages mutual hormone release, including oxytocin and serotonin, which strengthens bonding and reduces stress. Emotionally, focusing on mutual connection enhances trust, closeness, and satisfaction. Practically, slowing down, observing, and listening during intimacy builds habits that sustain a relationship for years. Second, integrate mindfulness. Being present during intimate moments allows you to notice subtle changes in your partner's responses and your own sensations. Biologically, awareness can amplify hormonal signaling, improve blood flow, and enhance nerve sensitivity. Emotionally, it fosters empathy, patience, and understanding. Practically, mindfulness can transform ordinary encounters into deeply satisfying experiences, helping both partners feel valued and connected. Third, consistency matters. Regular, intentional intimacy, whether sexual or non-sexual physical connection, maintains these biological and emotional pathways. Biologically, the body responds best to routine stimulation, which supports pelvic blood flow, nerve responsiveness, and hormonal regulation. Emotionally, frequent shared experiences build security and trust over time. Practically, scheduling and prioritizing connection, even in small ways, ensures intimacy remains a natural, integrated part of life rather than a rare, stressful event. Fourth, monitor your health actively. Your sexual and relational health is tied closely to cardiovascular health, hormonal balance, and mental well-being. Biologically, regular checkups help detect issues like hypertension, diabetes, or testosterone decline early, so interventions can be effective. Emotionally, knowing your health status reduces anxiety and improves confidence. Practically, staying proactive with exams, screenings, and lab tests empowers you to maintain function, vitality, and intimacy. Finally, create a supportive environment. Your surroundings, daily routines, and emotional climate influence how intimacy unfolds. Biologically, stress, sleep deprivation, and poor diet can blunt hormone production and reduce responsiveness. Emotionally, a calm, safe, and attentive environment encourages openness and pleasure. Practically, simple changes like reducing distractions, being fully present, and supporting mutual wellness can dramatically improve both physical and emotional outcomes. Men, let's talk about another layer that often goes unnoticed: the emotional and psychological impact of intimacy. Many men assume intimacy is purely physical, but here's the reality. Your mental state, stress levels, and emotional security are just as critical as biology. Biologically, stress hormones like cortisol can interfere with hormonal signaling, reducing desire, dampening arousal, and even impacting orgasm. Emotionally, unresolved tension, anxiety, or feelings of inadequacy can create a subtle barrier to closeness. Practically, recognizing this connection allows you to approach intimacy with patience, compassion, and intention. Now, consider communication. Open dialogue with your partner is non-negotiable for a healthy, fulfilling connection. Biologically, it reduces stress, which keeps hormonal balance intact. Emotionally, it builds trust, increases emotional safety, and encourages vulnerability. Practically, asking questions, sharing preferences, and expressing appreciation ensures both partners feel heard and valued. This is where many relationships falter not from lack of desire, but from lack of honest conversation. Next, let's explore the power of touch beyond the obvious. Gentle, mindful physical contact, even outside of sexual activity, has measurable benefits. Biologically, touch triggers oxytocin release, lowers heart rate, and reduces cortisol. Emotionally, it strengthens bonds and fosters feelings of safety and intimacy. Practically, daily gestures like holding hands, hugs, or light massage can reinforce connection and enhance responsiveness during sexual encounters. Another important point is that intimacy is not one size fits all. Preferences, comfort levels, and boundaries evolve over time. Biologically, sensitivity changes, hormones fluctuate, and physical capabilities shift with age. Emotionally, past experiences, cultural messages, and self-perception influence how men and women experience intimacy. Practically, adapting, experimenting gently, and checking in regularly keeps experiences enjoyable, safe, and fulfilling. Finally, I want to address a common misconception that sexual performance is the measure of your worth. It is not. Biologically, occasional changes in arousal or performance are natural and often reversible. Emotionally, self-worth should never hinge solely on sexual output. Practically, focusing on mutual satisfaction, emotional connection, and long-term health creates a far more meaningful and sustainable relationship. Remember, intimacy is as much about being present and attuned as it is about physical acts. Gentlemen, now that we've explored the science, the emotions, and the practical side of intimacy, let's bring it all together. The key takeaway is this: intimacy is a full spectrum experience. It's not just about sex. It's about chemistry, communication, touch, trust, and mutual care. Biologically, your body thrives when arousal, hormones, and emotional safety align. Emotionally, your relationships flourish when you connect, listen, and show respect for both your partner and yourself. Practically, taking small, consistent steps like checking in, being present, prioritizing health, and honoring boundaries makes a profound difference over time. Think of intimacy as a form of maintenance, much like exercise for the body or mental practice for the mind. When you invest in it regularly, even in small ways, it supports everything: sleep, mood, hormonal balance, and emotional closeness. Skipping these practices doesn't just affect sex, it subtly impacts how you feel about yourself, how your partner experiences you, and the overall health of your relationship. But the good news is simple. You can start today. Open a conversation, be mindful in your touch, prioritize emotional presence over performance. Build trust gradually, celebrate connection, and honor the science your body follows. Here's a truth I want every man to internalize: age does not define your intimacy or your worth. Your body adapts, your relationships can deepen, Your vitality can remain strong even decades into life. You are not broken, and you are not past your prime. Each mindful, respectful action reinforces your confidence, your connection, and your emotional health. Biologically, these actions support hormones, nerves, and blood flow. Emotionally, they strengthen bonds and reduce anxiety. Practically, they create intimacy that is sustainable, fulfilling, and deeply rewarding. So, what should you do next? Start with awareness. Observe your habits, notice patterns in intimacy, and pay attention to your partner's needs. Communicate openly, prioritize health, and take small, deliberate steps every day. Integrate gentle touch, shared experiences, and honest conversation. Make intimacy a practice, not a performance. Remember, consistent, thoughtful effort compounds over time, just like exercise or nutrition, and creates meaningful, lasting results. Men, you now have the knowledge to transform not just your sexual life, but your relationships and your confidence. Embrace curiosity, science, and respect. Let understanding guide your actions. Focus on connection, health, and care rather than perfection. The effects are profound: improved relationships, better emotional well-being, and a deeper sense of fulfillment in life. Your best years are still ahead. If you found this video insightful, do your part. Like it, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more science-based practical guidance. Comment below with your thoughts, questions, or experiences. I read every single one. And remember, intimacy is not just pleasure. It's biology, emotion, and trust combined. Approached thoughtfully, it empowers you, your partner, and your health for the long term. Stay present, stay curious, and most importantly, stay confident. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and I'll see you in the next video.